Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, Martin sent me an email a little while back, and he said, obviously in August it's a bit more or less, formal, informal. So they get people like us to come up and talk, who are inexperienced. Um, so yeah, really, I'm just to share a little bit about what's sort of been going on, and I guess where maybe God's been speaking, or just events that have happened that have made me think a little bit more about various things. So uh, it might sound quite deep or uh, extreme. I don't know, but this is what I've been thinking about anyway. So a little while back, I'm into football. So football is one of my big things, right? And I support Liverpool Football Club, obviously because it's just down the road. And recently, there's a tragic news story with Liverpool. There was a football player who passed away called Diego Jota, and that sort of led me to sort of start thinking about sort of like life's really short, because Liverpool won the Premier League this year, or the year just gone, and Diego Jota he got married, won the trophy, won another trophy with Portugal. And then suddenly, an insane sort of car crash or incident happened, and then his life's just gone. It's just finished. And it sort of makes you sort of take stock. Even obviously, it's not impacting me directly, but it makes you take stock of the fact that everything's temporary. Everything's sort of, and it doesn't matter who you are. What sort of life you've lived up to that point. It could just be taken away at any moment. So anyway, so that sort of, I started reading Ecclesiastes. I don't know if anyone's read the book of Ecclesiastes, but Ecclesiastes is quite an interesting book. And I guess if you were to summarize it, the Bible Project has a really good video on Ecclesiastes, actually. I don't know if anyone knows about the Bible Project, but they do really cool videos and talks about various Bible topics. But I started reading Ecclesiastes, and my main takeaway initially is as life is short, and sort of like everything's temporary. Andy, if you want to put up the first verse, yeah, there you go. That's the King James Bible version. It's quite old school writing, but I think it summarizes it, and it has more. It seems to me it has more impact. Those words, vanity of vanities. I won't try and say that. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. In other translations, it says meaningless. Sort of life is meaningless. And I'm not trying to bring everyone down. Life isn't meaningless, but when I saw that, it sort of chimed with what was sort of in my mind at that at that time, around how a lot of our daily lives, a lot of our living is it's not entirely meaningless, but there's an element of, well, there's more to this. There's more to life than just whatever's going on in our life with work or studies or whatever it might be. And also, it's a puzzling nature of life. Things happen that are just so random. Good and bad. And I think we sort of need to be reminded of that fact, that we need to be in the moments and really enjoy moments together, family, friends, loved ones, and sort of cherish those moments as best we can, and really exert ourselves in the small situations in life, because we don't know how long we got. I don't want to bring everyone down, but we don't really know how long we've got, and it's important to really cherish your kids, friends, loved ones, and give your most, give all you can to those moments. So yeah, I'm not saying life. Oh, it's gone. Where's it gone? I'm not saying life is meaningless, but that it's brief, elusive, and in some commentaries it talks about Ecclesiastes talking about life as being like smoke, like vapor. You can't grasp it, you can't fully control every aspect of life. So, and I think again it's important to remember that we're not here to sort of have everything set out. We're here to sort of understand life through God, which brings me on to the next part, really. that a life without meaning, in short, I guess, is to summarize it as a life without God. Certainly from our perspective, and in Ecclesiastes, it goes on to talk about, it's quite a pessimistic book, but it goes on to talk about how a life lived in fear of God. Again, that word fear it can be expanded upon by someone a bit more knowledgeable, but a life in fear of God can really give us meaning and depth and energy to our lives. Because as I say, in Ecclesiastes, it does talk about how even if we live a life in that way, with all the wisdom in the world, like King Solomon, who we believe wrote Ecclesiastes, there's still numerous things that can happen. Life is so random. You could get an illness, you could be unwell, all these various things can still happen to us all. So a life, where is it? Here we go. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of man. Andy, if you put that up. Oh, you got it, yeah. Yeah, it was good. Good job. The duty of mankind. So I think that's really, from what I've been going through and what I've been reading and the things that have sort of impacted me lately, that's the main takeaway from what I've been trying to understand at this moment in my life. Because there's a lot going on. Obviously, we've got a new one on the way. We've got 3 kids running around all the time. I've got work, and I've got a few changes at work at the moment as well, and I'm trying to clear all my work this weekend because we're now on 2 weeks holiday. So all those kind of things, it's all sort of like, it just happens and we deal with it. But I guess what I'm really trying to say to all of us today is to cherish our moments together and as I say, exert ourselves in those situations to enhance those interactions and to, bring energy and meaning to our lives. The other verse that has always been sort of, I don't know what the word is, but important to me, I guess. I haven't given it to you, Andy, but it's Proverbs 3:5-6. And most people might know it, but it's trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and in all ways submit to him, and he will make our path straight. So, sort of in connection with what it says in Ecclesiastes at the end of the book about the duty of mankind, I think we can also lean on the best thing to lean on is God, obviously, to help us along the way. And I think what that looks like for us physically in reality, it's not always signs and wonder, but it's in the small situations, like when we share things with each other here where we talk about maybe we've got a job interview or we've got a job coming up and we want God to direct us and God to make the right decision for us. And sometimes we don't get those jobs, or sometimes this doesn't happen, or sometimes it does happen. And I think we're always relying on the fact that God is in charge, even though we don't necessarily get a sign and wonder, but things sort of happen, And I think if we always have that in our mind, that we're always in a position or a circumstance for a reason, then we can give our extra energy and give our all to it, knowing that God's trying to work in us, to reach others or to be the best person that we can be, really. Life's unpredictable and short, and it calls us to trust God fully. And it really does matter how we spend our time, efforts, money, everything. So that's it, really. Thank you very much.